So welcome to this edition of Global Fraud Series, The Future of Fraud and Identity, organized by Experian around the world to gain an insight into the top trends around cybersecurity and identity theme worldwide. So first of all, we would like to give you a warm welcome to all of you, especially to our Experian customers and clients and other companies from across multiple industries which are present today.
The best thing to look at is a classic wheel, and fundamentally what we are trying to do is to help you recognize who you're dealing with. Are the people on the other end of the transaction or the relationship that you've got and your customers, are they who they say they are? So I guess if there was one thing you took away, is that Experian is trying to help you figure out, is that person who they say they are?
Most merchants used roughly 40 parameters to do their work. And those parameters mainly were given by you. What I realized is if I steal a database with all of your data that you provided and is very accurate, and then I take this data and I give it to another merchant and tell them I'm you, they have no way of knowing is it you or a copy of your data. And because of that, philosophically, the answer of fraud cannot be found within the first 40 parameters. Can't be. So we must find the proverbial 41st parameter. Most fraud detection software was really pointed at transactions. That's the moment that money is moving or somebody buys something. And I'll still suggest that you keep doing it. But my argument for you today is to think about how much fraud can you stop much earlier in the process.
Every single breach occurs because someone in that company did something they weren't supposed to do. If you interrogate the best hackers in the world, they'll tell you, look, I can't get into that bank. They spend $250 million a year on software to keep me out. I can't penetrate that infrastructure. But that bank employs over 200,000 people worldwide. All I have to do is wait for one of them to make a mistake, to do something they're not supposed to do. That's why the smartest thing that a company can do today is to educate their employees about how important their job is, and that's protecting the information given to them by their trusted clients.
We're going to continue to believe that sharing data, for which we play a role and you all play a role, is one of the key ways in which we're going to combat fraud. And fraud, of course, is an area where I think, and when we talk to people, it is less competitive. Obviously, we compete on the retail space, but when it comes to actually stopping the bad guys, it is more about how we can work together.
And I know that in certain countries, we regulate how much information can be shared. But as I've always said for many years, sharing information that's not competitive, fraud is not a competitive subject. It is something that affects all of us, all of our businesses. But we should be able to share that information to help another business not have a problem.
Today has been a great event, not only because of the participation of some real experts in the field, but because of the incredible client participation that we've had and the engagement that clients have had the opportunity to have with the expert and with Experian.
I think it's been a great event because we don't often get a chance to bring people like Ori Eisen and Abagnale to Madrid. I think we've also had a panel of speakers through the day. We've had experts in hacking, we've had people from the government in Spain. So far the feedback has been extraordinarily good.
Bueno, el evento de hoy ha sido un evento realmente especial, ha sido único y realmente tanto por el contenido como por la asistencia que hemos tenido, pues realmente te tengo que decir a estas alturas que no ha terminado el evento todavía, que ha sido un éxito rotundo.
Bueno, a mí me parece que es uno de los eventos que deberían de organizarse con mucha más frecuencia porque además de mejorar el networking, lo que hace es que te permite conocer lo que en otros lugares está pasando.
Principalmente las tendencias de fraude, cómo evoluciona el fraude en las empresas, cómo los defraudadores son cada vez más creativos y cómo las empresas debemos de trabajar y adelantarnos a esa creatividad.
Básicamente destacamos de Experian lo que son las herramientas que nos están ofreciendo, las soluciones que nos ofrecen para ayudarnos a luchar contra el fraude, que es nuestra misión principal.
Y creo que son herramientas que están utilizándose, que funcionan bien y que nos pueden aportar ese grado de fiabilidad que tenemos y darnos ese impulso para salir a la banca digital que todo el mundo quiere.
Experian are very current, so they're looking ahead to the future. They're not looking at what risks do businesses face today and how are they being addressed. They're looking to the future, so what's next? What are the risks before we see them?
We believe in expertise in global markets. I think through consultancy and with the software capabilities we can implement in KKV and start a jump starting actually in order to invent everything from beginning.
Y hoy lo que hemos podido poner de manifiesto es que Experian tiene la última tecnología, que ya venimos trabajando en ella desde hace unos años, y realmente yo creo que, por lo que además he escuchado a otros clientes, realmente es un valor diferencial que les va a permitir a las organizaciones pues, mantenerse por delante de los intentos de cometer fraude.
And from what I could see from the audience and from the customers that I met, is a message that's really landed today. So I'm really hopeful that we can help them improve the situation moving forward.